How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to be doing something just a little different. Obviously, for those of you who are regulars of the channel, you know that I most often do film-related videos, specifically movie reactions. But I wanted to do something a little different today. I've seen a few of these on YouTube. I'm always intrigued to see people's uh, how they formulate their listing on this particular topic, which is what I'm going to be doing is listing the five studio albums of the Police in order of preference, favorite. The Police are my favorite band of all time, so I always love any discussions I can find. People talking about the band, their history, or ranking their albums, or their songs, anything. I'm always just yeah, I gotta listen to that, whether it's on YouTube or podcasts. So yeah, what I'm gonna be doing is obviously I have the collection here, all five of the studio albums, from least favorite to favorite, and I got to tell you, it's really tough. And before I actually get into the list, I'll just say that I love all five albums. I love most songs by the Police. You get the odd clunker here and there, but for the most part, just brilliant, brilliant stuff. So yeah, with that, we'll get into the countdown. So yeah, so at number five is going to be Ghost in the Machine. Um, I have to say, actually, it's weird. Even though this is number five, the album that is at number four, I think, has worse singles than this one. I think this one actually has better singles, but as a whole, as an album, I think this is my least favorite. But again, to say it's not to say I don't. I really, really like this album. It has like one of my absolute favorite Police songs is on this album, which is "Invisible Sun." Amazing, amazing song. "Spirits in the Material World," really good song. Um, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic is a good song. It's a very good song. I know it's like really popular among a lot of people. I like it. I like it quite a lot, but it wouldn't be like tip top favorite for me. Omega Man, I think, is a fantastic song. I don't know if anyone heard the story, but apparently, because Andy Summers wrote that song, and I think the producers of the album had suggested that could be the first single, and Sting was just like, not a chance, that's not happening. But I think it's a brilliant song, actually a really underrated song, and one of my favorites on the album. And I also really like the closing song, which is Darkness, which is actually a Copeland penned song, which I think is a fantastic song and a great way to close out the album. Um, in between, then I think though, like you've got like say "Hungry for You," Demolition Man is it's okay. "Too Much Information," "Rehumanize Yourself," and "One World." They're good songs. Don't get me wrong, they're good songs, but they're not like amazing songs. I feel like the middle of the album kind of it's decent, but it doesn't hit the heights of what you get at the beginning. Like the first three songs are basically the three singles: "Spirits in the Material World," "Every Little Thing Just Is Magic," and "Invisible Sun." And then like towards the very end, you have like "Omega Man" and "Darkness." Um, so yeah, like I think just in the middle, it kind of the level goes down a bit. Again, to reiterate, I do like the songs in the middle, but I think that the level does go down in the middle. I think that's what goes against this one a little bit with comparing it to the other ones. Quick mention too to "Secret Journey." I love the opening. I think the opening is absolutely phenomenal. I just feel once it kind of gets into the main beat of the song, it kind of loses itself a little. I wish it kept that kind of synthesizer stuff at the beginning throughout the song. Um, but yeah, number five is "Ghost in the Machine." Okay, so at number four is "Synchronicity," which I know like this is actually the most popular album among the five, and sold the most records as well. And actually, what I did earlier today is I listened to "Synchronicity," the full album, and "Ghost in the Machine," just back to back, just because I was really finding it difficult to decide which one I enjoyed more. I think as a listening experience, I think Synchronicity is a better listen as an album. I think it works better. Um, but as I said earlier, I think actually that Ghost in the Machine, when you compare the singles, I actually think Ghost in the Machine has better singles. Like "Every Breath You Take" is a fantastic song. I love that song. "Synchronicity 2" is really good as well. But I was never like a massive fan of "King of Pain" or "Wrapped Around Your Finger." They're decent, like, but I never thought they were like tip top. Like, I don't think either of them no, I know for a fact actually neither of them would be in my top 20 songs by the Police. They'd even be fighting to get into the top 25, to be honest. They're okay, like they're decent, but I never thought they were top level Police songs. Um, it's kind of ones that like aren't really talked about, like Oh My God, Miss Grodenko I like a lot. Tea in the Sahara is one of my favorite, top five for me, favorite Police songs. Unbelievable song, it's so good. And people might scratch their head or shake their head, scratch their head, whatever, hearing this, but I like Mother. I just love the absurdity of it. It's just so jarring, but it stands out. You know, it grabs your attention. It's such a strange song, but I think it works. And I think it's a pity that Sting refused to work on it. Maybe actually, to be honest, it actually adds to the absurdity of it that Summers is actually singing on it. Maybe it actually goes in its favor. But yeah, I enjoy Mother. Walking in Your Footsteps is a good song. Synchronicity One is a good song. You know, it's weird because like side two has King of Pain wrapped on your finger, and then you have Every Breath You're Taking, Tea in the Sahara. It's only because you've Every Breath You Take. Okay, that's an amazing song. Most people really love that song, but that and Tea in the Sahara is what kind of saves side two for me. Because I said King of Pain and Wrapped on Your Finger they're decent, but they're nothing spectacular. But side one, most of them are like deep cuts. Like I said, Oh My God, I think is a really good song. As I mentioned, Miss Grodenko I like a lot, which is a Copeland one. Synchronicity 2 is one of their heaviest ones. Um, I also say that this definitely, I think, has the coolest artwork as a cover. Apparently, like there's like over like 30 different versions of this cover. It's like the color schemes are changed around the images. There's different images on different ones. I think I have the most one of the most common ones with Sting with the book. Um, but yeah, no, like really good album. I think actually it's the deeper cuts actually I think are actually stronger than most of the hits. Every Bet You Take aside, kind of, and Synchronicity is really good too. But I think it's actually the deeper cuts, like Tea in the Sahara, as I said. Oh My God, Walking in Your Footsteps is good. Miss Grodenko. But yeah, number four, Synchronicity. Okay, at number three is the third album, Zenyatta Mandata. We're getting into the strange album titles now. Um, yeah, so Zenyatta Mandata. Like, if you look at side one, it has Don't Stand So Close to Me, Driven to Tears, When the World is Running Down, You Make the Best of What's Still Around. Long title that is. Canary in a Coal Mine, Voices Inside My Head. Okay, and then you have Bombs Away, which I think that's a clunker for me. I never really was too keen on that one. But the first one, two, three, four, the first five songs are all brilliant, really good stuff. Don't Stand So Close to Me. Obviously, everyone knows that was the first Police song I ever heard. I actually heard it in Friends. It's one of my favorites. Police songs, fantastic. Driven to Tears is amazing. Hearing that live, um, I got to there's this tribute band actually here in Ireland, and seen him like five times now. But I saw him up in Belfast last week. I was at my brother's wedding, and they were playing that week, so I went up to see him. And Driven to Tears is as a lot. It's a brilliant song, but hearing it live is just it's fantastic. Canary in a Coal Mine, just such an up tempo, fast, quick paced. Um, when the World is Running Down, You Make the Best of What's Still Around, really good song. And Voices Inside My Head just has a real nice, just kind of a chill out beat about it, kind of a little like Tea in the Sahara. You'd relax to it, kind of, you know. Um, then on side two, you've the do do do, the da da da, which I love that song as well. Behind My Camel, now that's a funny one because that's an instrumental written by Summers, and again, some of these stories a lot of you the Police fans probably already know, but uh, it was one of the masters or recordings that they had it on. Sting buried it because he hated it so much he wouldn't play in it, and apparently Andy just dug it back up, um, and it ended up winning a Grammy. But I really like that one. It kind of a little like Mother. It has a kind of a harshness to it, but I like the beat of it. Man in the Suitcase as well. I love that song. That's a really good song. The last two, the Shadows in the Rain and The Other Way of Stopping, they don't do a whole lot for me. So I think if like say Bombs Away, Shadows in the Rain, and The Other Way of Stopping, those three I don't think are great. I think if they were stronger, or if you had stronger songs in their place, I think this one would be even higher up for me because the other 7 or 8 songs I really really like and think are brilliant. So I just think great album with just 2 or 3 poor songs on maybe not poor because I think the music making is good quality. It doesn't do a lot for me. Um, but the rest of them love them, all really good songs. So it's a really strong album, just with 2 or 3 that are kind of not great, and I think that's why it's in third place. And otherwise, if there was a couple of stronger songs on there, would probably be higher up on the list. But as it is, it's at number 3. Okay, so at number 2, the debut album, Outlandish D'Amour. Um, these last 2 albums now, I think like there's not one song I think on either of them that are poor, and I think that's why the one of the reasons why these are the top 2. I mean, side one, okay, like to start out with Next to You, just such a high tempo, fast paced song, and what a great way to start an album and to start the beginning of the Police's work. Like this is the first song in the very first album. Then you've So Lonely. Oh, what a song! So good. Lyrics in that are fantastic. Although, um, if you listen to it a certain way, it sounds like he's saying sim only. I used to always joke about that. Then you've got Roxanne. I mean, what else can be said about that song? Just classic. Whole of My Life. Absolute. One of my favorite Police songs. So fucking good. Such a brilliant song. Then you have Peanuts. That's a good solid song. Then flip over side 2, Can't Stand Losing You, another amazing Police song. True Hits Everybody is solid. Born in the 50s, I like a lot. That's a really good song. Then you've got Be My Girl Sally, which really catchy tune, and then like this has that bizarre interlude with just Andy Summers rambling on about a blow up doll that he's going to marry. Very absurd. It's kind of, I think as people have said before, very Monty Python esque almost. Probably something like you'd see Pink Floyd do, just really obscure, just weird thing just thrown in. And then the last one, which I think is the only song they've never played live, and probably understand why, but I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right now, Masoko Tanga. But man, I love this. It's so good. So, so good. Just so catchy, just da 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 na 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 da da. Sorry, terrible attempt, but yeah, just so catchy. But yeah, like I said, you've got like it's either very good or amazing is what you're getting on this album. And obviously, like So Lonely, Roxanne, and Can't Stand Losing You are like 3 of their biggest hits of all time. But then, like as I said, like Whole of My Life is one of my absolute favorites. Masoko Tanga, I think, is fantastic. Next to You is so good. Yeah, just a really great debut album. It has that kind of frenetic, punkish kind of energy to it as well. Like, you know, it's very raw. But yeah, great album and just littered with great songs. So yeah, number 2, Outlandish D'Amour. And at number 1, obviously, as you're going to guess, or as you gathered now, is second album from 1979, Regatta de Blanc, or Regatta de Blanc. Le Blanc. I'm not sure, it's French. So yeah, one of the reasons why this is my favorite album is because it has 3 of my absolute top favorite Police songs, which are Walking on the Moon, Bring on the Night, and The Bed's Too Big Without You. 3 absolute, just top quality Police songs. Amazing songs. Then on top of that, you've got Message in a Bottle, which is a great song as well, obviously. Really, really great song. Um, Regatta de Blanc, the title track. Really fun to listen to live because you kind of interact with it with the yo, yeah, yeah, oh, yo, yeah, yeah, oh. Um, then like you've stuff like Contact, Does Everyone Stare, um, Death Wish, you know, just really, really kind of great deep cut songs. I think this is possibly Yeah, probably, possibly the best one for deep cuts as well. I mean, is Bring On the Night? That's probably a deep cut as well, to be honest. Like that wasn't a single. I know The Bit's Too Big Without You was a single in some countries, I believe. But Bring On the Night wasn't. And like that's possibly my favorite Police song. But yeah, just great. I agree. Just yeah, just every song is brilliant, basically. And then like the last one, No Time This Time. I think that was it a B side on the previous album, Outlandis D'Amour, and I think they needed something, an extra song for filler, basically, and they just threw it on. But what's kind of nice about it is I think this one is it's a completely different album to the opener. It's not as frenetic, but I think that one song brings back a bit of that kind of punkish element that we had a lot of in the first album. So it's a nice kind of little throwback to that album. But as I said, like Bring On the Night, The Bed's Too Big Without You, Walking on the Moon, like those three are just absolute pillar songs for me when it comes to the Police. Amazing, and obviously Message in the Bottle is top quality as well. Yeah, that just for me, because of those three songs, my three of my absolute top favorites, and because they've such a strong selection of deep cuts as well. Uh, yeah, that's why I think. Even the kind of the quirky ones like um, On Any Other Day, and which I think there's a couple, two or three actually were written by Copeland. So there's a quirkiness to it as well that I like. I mean, Regard de Blanc is almost basically an instrumental, and Death Wish as well is close to it, but they're both really catchy beats in them, you know. Um, I mean, It's All Right for You is probably the weakest, but even then, it's still solid, you know. Um, yeah, just the whole way through. I just for me, it's the best overall, the best album with the best songs as a whole. So yeah, number one for me is Regata de Blanc. But guys, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on like what your ranking would be of the five albums. As I said, I've watched a few people on YouTube doing their lists, and I've just loved watching them. Just so curious to see what people's picks are and why. So I just wanted to do it. Hopefully, some people will enjoy it. Just they're my favorite band. Absolutely love the Police. So any discussions about them is always a lot of fun. But with that said, guys, Slangfall.